All right, welcome back for our final session. This is module number 4, Becoming a Person of Influence. Kevin Wayne Johnson here, your host and your facilitator. And we want to now pick up where we left off with lesson number 3 as we now move into our final session. And we're going to take a look at the 3, 4, and 5 as it relates to 10 ways to increase our influence. So we took a look at the first 2, integrity and nurture. And now number 3 is faith, just having faith in people, confidence, keeping them lifted up, keeping them inspired and motivated. And you'll see in your handbook, in your participant guide that I provided for you for module 4, at the very top, it says faith in people. An influencer has faith in people because assets make things happen and people make things happen as well. So assets make things possible and people make things happen. There toward the bottom of the page, you'll see in leading others, there are 3 feelings that we cannot possess. Underline cannot. Number 1 is fear, because if we are afraid of people, we cannot confront them. Number 2 is dislike. If we dislike people, we should not lead them. And then number 3 is contempt. If we look down on people, we will not value them. Over on the very next page, you'll see that there's a little quote there by Les Giblin, a little paragraph there for you. And just want to reiterate, it is wonderful when people believe in their leader, and it is more wonderful when the leader believes in the people. Borrowed beliefs have no power. We become outside what we believe inside, and lack of belief in people hurts both the leader and the people. Here's the next one, number 4, listen. So the better listeners we are and we become, the better we can increase our influence and be more influential in the lives of others. So here's some tips that you can take and some tools that you can add to your toolbox. Listening requires that we look at the speaker, that we ask questions, that we do not interrupt, that we do not change the subject, that we keep our emotion in check, and that we really be adherent to what we call responsive listening. Very important. There on the very next page, you'll see at the very top, we ask what we call these 4H questions. And you can write these down. And this has everything to do with helping us to become better listeners. Number 1, what is their heart? Number 2, what is their hope? Number 3, what is their hurt? And then finally, how can I help? And so at this time, I would like for you to go ahead and take your quiz. The question is, are you a good listener? And you can take this quiz to find out. There's just 8 questions there for you to respond to. Very, very user-friendly type quiz, short, sweet, to the point. If you answer always, then you're going to give yourself a 4. If you answer usually, give yourself 3. And if you answer rarely, give yourself 2. And even if you say never, you still give yourself 1 point. And when you get to the bottom of the quiz, after you finish number 8, add these up and take these notes. If you score 26 or higher, then you're an excellent listener. If you score between 22 and 25, then you are better than average. And if you score between 18 to 21, then there's room for improvement. And if you score 17 or lower, come to my booth. Let's have a conversation. All right. Here's the last one, just in terms of the time that we have together doing these short modules together. Module number 4 will conclude with this. Way number 5 to increase your influence is to take the time to understand people, right? Very important, very, very key. You'll see here in your guide that to understand the mind of a person, look at what he has achieved. And to understand the heart of a person, look at what he dreams of becoming. Norm Wright teaches us that there are 2 basic reasons why relationships fail. The first one is fear, which causes us to erect barriers. And then number 2 is selfishness, that causes us to focus on self instead of others. And then we're going to conclude our time together becoming a person of influence. When you take a look over at the next page, I am going to ask you to fill in the blanks based upon your view and your perspective. Keys to understanding: leading people by reading people. And there are 8 blanks there, 1 through 8. For example, I would say, just to give you a hint, relationships. Having relationships to people is a key to understanding them. And just fill out those 8 blanks based upon your view, your perspective. There is no wrong answer. And then last but not least, I have prepared for you what's called the Wheel of Life. The Wheel of Life is a very user-friendly tool to find out how balanced you are with your personal and your professional life. Just read through the instructions and give yourself a score of 1 to 10 based upon the 8 different categories. And when you fill in the blanks, you'll have an idea of exactly how balanced you are in your life. And the more self-aware you are as a leader, the better position you'll be in as you go through your leadership journey. And of course, if you have any questions at all on anything at all that we've covered during these 4 modules, feel free to come to my booth, the Johnson Leadership Group, and I'll be more than happy to speak with you and give you more clarity and more understanding. All right, it's been a joy. Thank you so much. Continue to enjoy Success Fest 21. I'm glad to be on your side and part of your team. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.